equals deep within the quantum cryptography lab at the Global Science Institute, Dr. Maya Chen stared at her terminal in disbelief. The pattern she'd been tracking for the past 3 weeks wasn't a glitch. It wasn't random noise. It was a message encoded in a way that should have been impossible, using quantum entanglement across vast distances of space. The message had been hiding in plain sight, scattered across thousands of quantum telecommunications satellites. Each satellite carried only a fraction of the signal, meaningless in isolation. But Maya had noticed the pattern, a mathematical symphony that only became visible when you knew exactly where to look. "Director Wallace needs to see this," she whispered, her fingers flying across the holographic keyboard. The implications were staggering. Someone, something, had turned Earth's entire quantum communications network into a receiver for a message from the stars. Within hours, the Institute's circular conference room was filled with the world's leading experts in quantum physics, cryptography, and xenolinguistics. Maya stood before them, her heart racing as she projected the decoded fragments onto the room's curved wall. "The message is being transmitted through quantum-entangled particles," she explained, her voice steady despite her nervousness. "Whoever sent this has technology far beyond our current understanding. They're not just communicating across space, they're communicating across time." Director Wallace, a stern woman with steel-gray hair, leaned forward. "What does it say, Dr. Chen?" Maya took a deep breath. "It's a warning. And a gift." She gestured, and new symbols appeared on the wall. "Earth has been chosen. We're being entrusted with something called the Guardian Protocol. But we're not the first choice. We're the last resort." The room erupted in whispers. Maya continued, her voice cutting through the murmur. "The message speaks of an ancient cache of technology, hidden beneath our oceans. Technology that's been dormant for millions of years, waiting for a species capable of using it. And now it's being activated because something is coming. Something that's already destroyed countless other civilizations." She pulled up another set of data streams. "They call themselves the Void Hunters. They're a force that seeks out and destroys any civilization that reaches a certain level of technological advancement. They've been systematically eliminating potential threats across our galaxy for millions of years." "Why us?" Director Wallace asked, voicing the question on everyone's minds. "Why Earth?" Maya's expression was grim. "Because we're different. The message says humans have a unique characteristic, something called adaptive quantum consciousness. We can interface with their technology in ways other species can't. We're not just being warned about the Void Hunters, we're being asked to become the guardians of this sector of space." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just made first contact. They'd been drafted into an ancient war. "There's more," Maya said, her voice barely above a whisper. "The cache isn't just weapons or shields. It's a test. If we can activate it, if we can prove ourselves worthy of the Guardian Protocol, we'll gain access to technology that could transform our entire civilization overnight. But if we fail..." She didn't need to finish the sentence. Everyone understood the stakes. Director Wallace stood, her decision made. "How long do we have?" Maya's fingers danced across her interface, pulling up astronomical data. The quantum signature of the Void Hunters' fleet was detected at the edge of the Oort cloud 3 days ago. At their current velocity, we have approximately 6 months before they reach Earth. 6 months to find this cache, learn how to use technology we don't understand, and prepare to face an enemy that's destroyed entire civilizations. Director Wallace's laugh was without humor. "Well, Dr. Chen, it seems humanity is about to get a crash course in advanced xenotechnology. Where do we start?" Maya projected a new image, a detailed map of the Pacific Ocean floor. The message included coordinates. "The cache is hidden in the Mariana Trench, protected by quantum fields that have kept it invisible to our sensors. But now that we have the key..." She typed a command, and a new signal appeared on the map, a pulsing point of light deep beneath the ocean's surface. "Now that we have the key," she continued, we can finally see what's been waiting for us all along. The next few days were a blur of activity. The world's governments were quietly informed, emergency protocols were enacted, and a new organization was formed, the Global Defense Initiative. Its mission was simple but monumental: prepare humanity for what was coming. Maya found herself at the center of it all, working around the clock to decode more of the quantum message. Each new fragment revealed more about both the technology they were about to inherit and the enemy they faced. The Void Hunters, she learned, were more than just conquerors. They were zealots, devoted to preventing any civilization from reaching what they called quantum ascendance. They believed that allowing species to advance too far would lead to the collapse of reality itself. And now they were coming to Earth, drawn by humanity's first steps into quantum technology. But as Maya delved deeper into the message, she began to understand why Earth had been chosen. Human consciousness, unlike that of any other known species, existed in a state of quantum superposition. Our very thoughts operated on principles similar to the technology left behind by the ancient guardians. We weren't just capable of using their weapons, we were made for them. As she stared at the latest data streaming across her screen, Maya couldn't help but feel a mix of terror and excitement. Humanity was about to leap forward centuries, perhaps millennia, in technological development. But first, they had to survive what was coming. The question wasn't whether humanity would fight. The question was whether they could learn enough fast enough to stand a chance against an enemy that had been perfecting the art of extinction for millions of years. In the depths of the Mariana Trench, something ancient stirred. The Guardian Protocol had begun. The submersible descended through the inky darkness of the Mariana Trench, its quantum-enhanced sensors penetrating the gloom. Dr. Maya Chen watched through the reinforced viewport as depth readings ticked past numbers that would have crushed any conventional vessel. But this was no conventional mission. The vessel, dubbed Deep Seeker, was humanity's first attempt at integrating the quantum principles they'd learned from the alien message. Its hull resonated at frequencies that somehow deflected the crushing pressure of the deep, while its sensors operated on principles that would have seemed impossible just months ago. Approaching the coordinates, announced Captain Sarah Rodriguez, her hands steady on the controls. 11,000 meters and dropping. Maya nodded, her eyes fixed on the quantum frequency monitor. According to the alien message, the cache would reveal itself only to technology operating on the correct quantum wavelength. They'd spent weeks calibrating their equipment to match the specified frequency. There, Maya's finger jabbed at the viewport. Through the darkness, a faint blue luminescence began to pulse, keeping time with the quantum signature they were broadcasting. As they watched, the glow intensified, forming patterns that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The water itself appeared to part, revealing a massive structure that had remained hidden for millions of years. It wasn't built of metal or stone, but rather seemed to be composed of pure energy held in perfect stasis. "My God," whispered Dr. James Norton, the quantum physicist who had helped design Deep Seeker's sensors. "It's beautiful." The structure was massive, easily the size of a small city, yet it had remained completely undetected until now. As they watched, sections of it began to shift and realign, responding to their presence. "We're being scanned," Maya announced, studying her readouts. "The caches, analyzing us." Suddenly, a beam of coherent light shot from the structure, enveloping their vessel. Instead of feeling threatened, Maya felt an odd sense of recognition. The quantum patterns matched perfectly with human brainwave frequencies, exactly as the message had predicted. Integration protocols initiated, a voice announced, not through their communication system, but somehow directly in their minds. Human quantum consciousness patterns confirmed. Initiating Guardian Protocol Phase 1. The structure began to transform, sections of it dissolving and reforming into new configurations. Platforms emerged from the energy field, clearly designed for human use. It was as if the entire facility was reshaping itself to accommodate its new guardians. "Take us in," Maya instructed, and Captain Rodriguez carefully maneuvered Deepseeker toward what appeared to be a docking station. As they approached, energy fields extended to create a dry dock, allowing them to exit the submersible safely despite the enormous pressure outside. The next few hours were a blur of discovery. The cache was more than just a weapons depot. It was a complete technological legacy, left behind by a civilization so advanced that their technology appeared magical. But what amazed Maya most was how intuitive it all felt. The interfaces responded to thought, the systems adapted to human physiology, and the quantum integrations felt natural, as if they were awakening something that had always been dormant within human. "Look at this," Dr. Norton called out, standing before a massive holographic display. "It's showing us their history. The civilization that built this, the rise of the Void Hunters, everything." The images told a story of a galaxy-spanning civilization that had achieved what the Void Hunters feared most, quantum ascendance. But instead of destroying reality as the Hunters believed, they had transcended it, moving beyond physical form entirely. Before they departed, they left behind these caches, waiting for species with the right kind of consciousness to inherit their legacy. They knew the Hunters would never stop, Maya realized, watching the historical display. They needed guardians who could protect younger civilizations, give them a chance to develop naturally without being culled by the Hunters' zealotry. But the most stunning revelation came when they accessed the cache's defensive systems. The weapons weren't just advanced. They were alive, in a sense. They required a true quantum consciousness to operate, one capable of existing in multiple states simultaneously. Human minds, with their unique quantum properties, were perfect matches. Back on the surface, the Global Defense Initiative was already mobilizing. As Maya's team explored the cache, military forces worldwide began preparing for what was to come. The cache provided plans for quantum-enhanced vehicles, weapons, and defensive systems, all of which could be manufactured using Earth's existing industrial base, once modified with the cache technology. "It's like they designed all of this specifically for us," Captain Rodriguez remarked as they watched another simulation of the cache's capabilities. "The technology, the interfaces, even the way it communicates, it's all perfectly suited for human use." Maya nodded, but her attention was on a different display, one showing the approach of the Void Hunter fleet. They were accelerating, somehow aware that the cache had been activated. What should have been 6 months of preparation time had just been cut in half. "They know we've found it," she announced grimly. "They're coming faster now." The cache systems confirmed her assessment, displaying projections of the Hunters' approach. They were pushing their ships to their limits, burning to reach Earth before humanity could fully integrate with the ancient technology. But they were too late. Already, the first wave of quantum-enhanced fighters was rolling off assembly lines. Orbital defense platforms were being retrofitted with cache-derived weapons. And most importantly, human pilots were discovering that they could interface with the ancient systems as naturally as breathing. The cache had chosen humanity for a reason. Now it was time to prove that choice right. As Maya watched the preparations unfold, she couldn't help but feel a sense of destiny. Humanity had been sleeping giants, their true potential locked away in their quantum consciousness. The Void Hunters' arrival wasn't just a threat. It was an opportunity to awaken that potential. Deep beneath the Pacific, the ancient cache hummed with power, its systems fully active for the first time in millions of years. The Guardian Protocol was proceeding exactly as planned. Phase 1 was complete. Phase 2 was about to begin. The quantum defense grid hummed to life above Earth's atmosphere, a network of satellites transformed by the cache technology. Dr. Maya Chen watched from the newly established Global Defense Command as the system came online, each node pulsing with energy that defied conventional physics. 3 months had passed since the discovery of the cache. 3 months of furious preparation and integration. The Void Hunters were now just weeks away, their massive fleet pushing through the outer solar system with relentless determination. "Status report on the Neural Integration Program," Maya requested, turning to Commander David Reeves, The officer in charge of pilot training. Better than we could have hoped, he responded, pulling up a holographic display. The quantum interface systems bond perfectly with human consciousness. Our pilots aren't just operating the catch weapons, they're becoming one with them. The display showed footage from training exercises. Pilots in quantum-enhanced fighters performed maneuvers that should have been impossible, their thoughts moving their craft faster than any physical control system could have managed. The catch technology had unlocked something within the human mind, something that had always been there, waiting. The Guardians knew what they were doing when they chose us. Maya mused, watching a squadron of fighters dance through an asteroid field in perfect formation. Our consciousness already operated on quantum principles. We just needed the right technology to access it. But it wasn't just military applications. The catch technology had begun transforming every aspect of human civilization. Quantum computing had leapfrogged centuries of projected development. Energy production had become nearly limitless. Medical technology had advanced decades overnight. Incoming transmission from Deep Space Array 4, announced Lieutenant Sarah Cooper from her station. The Hunter fleet has passed Jupiter's orbit. They're accelerating. Maya's expression hardened. The Void Hunters had been broadcasting messages ahead of their fleet. Warnings, threats, and accusations. They claimed humanity was tampering with forces beyond their comprehension, that accessing quantum technology would lead to the unraveling of reality itself. They're afraid, Commander Reeves observed, studying the incoming data. Not just of what we might become, but of what we already are. The cache chose us for a reason, and they know it. Before Maya could respond, alarms blared throughout the command center. Multiple quantum signatures detected. Lieutenant Cooper shouted. Hunter scout ships dropping out of hyperspace. The holographic display transformed, showing a dozen sleek, predatory vessels materializing just beyond lunar orbit. They were unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Ships that seemed to exist partially outside normal spacetime, their hulls rippling with dark energy. All defense grid stations. This is command. Commander Reeves barked into the communications array. This is not a drill. Engage Protocol Aegis. Repeat, engage Protocol Aegis. The quantum defense grid responded instantly, each satellite adjusting its frequency to create an interlocked energy field around Earth. At the same time, squadrons of quantum fighters launched from bases around the globe, their pilots' minds already merged with their craft's neural interfaces. The Hunter scouts struck first, firing weapons that distorted space itself. But the defense grid held, the quantum shields absorbing and dispersing the energy in ways that would have seemed impossible months ago. And then humanity struck back. The first wave of quantum fighters engaged the scout ships, and the battle that followed was unlike anything in human history. Pilots moved their craft with thought alone. Quantum weapons fired streams of probability-altering energy, and space itself seemed to warp and twist around the combatants. They're testing us, Maya realized, watching the battle unfold. This isn't a serious attack. They're prodding our defenses, seeing how well we've integrated with the catch technology. The battle was over almost as quickly as it had begun. 3 Hunter scouts were destroyed, their quantum cores imploding in brilliant flashes of light. The others retreated, jumping back into hyperspace with a speed that suggested they'd never intended to stay and fight. But the message had been sent, on both sides. The Hunters now knew humanity had successfully integrated with the catch technology, and humanity had proven they could stand against the advanced enemy. Damage report, Commander Reeves called out. 2 fighters lost. Lieutenant Cooper responded, her voice tight with emotion. But the pilots, sir, the pilots quantum ejected successfully. Their consciousness transferred directly into the defense grid. They're alive, just, distributed. This was another aspect of the catch technology that they were only beginning to understand. Human consciousness, thanks to its quantum nature, could transfer between systems in ways that seemed to defy death itself. The lost pilots weren't gone. They had ascended to a different state of existence. Maya walked to the central holographic display, studying the trajectory of the retreating scout ships. They'll report back to the main fleet. We can expect the full assault within days. Commander Reeves nodded grimly. Then we'll be ready. Every day we've bought ourselves has been put to good use. The catch systems are fully integrated now, our pilots are trained, and the defense grid is operational. It's not just about defending Earth anymore, Maya said softly, watching as the quantum fighters returned to their bases, their pilots' minds still humming with the energy of battle. The Guardians chose us for a reason. We're not just fighting for survival, we're fighting for the right of every species to develop without interference, to reach their own potential without being culled by the hunter's fear. Around Earth, the quantum defense grid pulsed with power, its energy patterns matching the rhythm of human thought. In bases around the world, more pilots prepared for battle, their consciousness expanding as they bonded with their quantum-enhanced craft. And deep beneath the Pacific, the ancient cache continued to upload its knowledge into humanity's quantum networks, preparing its chosen guardians for the storm to come. The test run was over. The real battle was about to begin. The void between Mars and Earth erupted with quantum energy as the main Void Hunter fleet dropped out of hyperspace. Thousands of ships, each a masterpiece of destructive technology, emerged into normal space. Their hulls rippled with dark energy, distorting the very fabric of reality around them. In Earth's Quantum Defense Command Center, Dr. Maya Chen watched the tactical display with steady eyes. This was the moment they had been preparing for. All stations report ready, Commander Reeves announced, his voice calm despite the enormity of what they faced. The defense grid is at full power. All quantum squadrons are launched and in position. The Hunter fleet's arrival had triggered something unexpected in the cache systems. New protocols were activating, ones that had remained dormant until this moment. Maya's quantum interface was flooding with information. The cache wasn't just a weapons platform. It was a key to understanding humanity's true nature. They're broadcasting, Lieutenant Cooper reported. The Hunter fleet's message boomed through the command center, translated by the cache systems. Children of Earth, the voice resonated with ancient malice. You meddle with forces beyond your comprehension. Surrender the cache, submit to quarantine, and your species will be spared. Resist, and we will excise you from existence itself. Commander Reeves looked to Maya, who nodded. They had prepared their response days ago. With a gesture, she activated the quantum communications array. Void Hunters, she spoke, her voice carried across space by quantum channels. We understand more than you know. We are not children playing with dangerous toys. We are the chosen guardians of this sector, and we will not surrender our destiny to your fear. The Hunter fleet's response was immediate and devastating. Space itself seemed to tear as their weapons fired, reality-warping energies streaming toward Earth. But humanity was ready. The quantum defense grid flared to life, each satellite joining into a single network of consciousness. The pilots of Earth's quantum fighters felt it too, a massive joining of minds, human consciousness expanding across the quantum plane in ways the Hunters had never anticipated. They don't understand, Maya breathed, watching through both physical eyes and quantum sensors. This is what the Guardians saw in us. This is why they chose humanity. Where other species saw quantum technology as tools to be used, humanity's consciousness naturally existed in a quantum state. They didn't just operate the cache weapons, they became one with them, their minds expanding across probability spaces in ways the Hunters couldn't comprehend. The battle that followed defied conventional physics. Earth's quantum fighters moved with impossible grace, their pilots' thoughts carrying them through probability spaces faster than light itself. The defense grid didn't just absorb the Hunters' attacks, it redirected them, using the enemy's own quantum weaponry against them. But the Hunters were ancient and powerful. Their ships began to adapt, their weapons shifting frequencies, searching for weaknesses in Earth's defenses. The first breaches appeared in the quantum shield, and Hunter forces pushed through. Multiple contacts entering Earth atmosphere, Lieutenant Cooper shouted. They're targeting major cities. Commander Reeves was already moving. Initiate protocol ascendance, he ordered. All pilots, execute quantum merge. This was the protocol they had discovered but never tested, the ultimate integration of human consciousness with quantum technology. Across Earth's defense forces, pilots opened their minds fully to the quantum plane. Their consciousness expanded beyond their physical forms, merging with their fighters, with the defense grid, with the cache itself. The effect was instantaneous and awe-inspiring. The quantum defense grid blazed with new power as thousands of human minds joined together in a vast quantum network. Fighter squadrons moved with perfect coordination. Their pilots merged consciousness, allowing them to act as one. Maya felt it too, her mind touching the vast quantum consciousness that was forming. Through it, she finally understood what the Guardians had seen in humanity. They weren't just capable of using quantum technology. They were quantum beings themselves, their consciousness naturally existing in a state of infinite possibility. The hunters' advantage began to crumble. Their weapons, designed to fight conventional enemies, proved less effective against an opponent that could shift through probability states at will. Earth's merged quantum consciousness allowed them to predict and counter attacks before they were even launched. But victory came at a cost. The quantum merge was taxing, pushing human consciousness to its limits. Pilots began to fade, their minds unable to maintain the connection. "We can't maintain this level of integration," Commander Reeves warned, watching as more pilots were forced to disconnect from the merge. The human mind wasn't meant to exist in this state for long. Maya studied the tactical display, watching as the battle hung in the balance. The hunters were wounded but not defeated, and humanity's greatest advantage was slipping away. They needed something more, something the cache had been preparing them for all along. In that moment of crisis, Maya felt a new presence in the quantum network. The cache itself was reaching out, offering access to systems that had remained locked until now. She understood suddenly that everything, the battle, the quantum merge, the strain on human consciousness, had been a test, and humanity had passed. "This isn't the end," she announced, her fingers flying across the quantum interface. "It's just the beginning. The cache is opening its final protocols. The Guardians didn't just choose us to fight the hunters. They chose us to become something more." As she spoke, new energy signatures began to emerge from the cache, patterns of quantum potential that would transform not just the battle, but humanity itself. The true purpose of the Guardian Protocol was about to be revealed. The ancient cache pulsed with newfound power, its quantum core resonating with the combined consciousness of humanity. As the final protocols activated, Dr. Maya Chen felt reality itself shift around them. The Guardian's ultimate gift wasn't just technology, it was evolution. "Full quantum convergence initiating," she announced, her voice carrying through both physical and quantum spaces simultaneously. "The cache is transforming us, completing what we always had the potential to become." Around Earth, the quantum defense grid began to change. The merged consciousness of thousands of pilots expanded, touching minds across the planet. It wasn't just the military now. Civilians found themselves connecting to the quantum network, their innate quantum consciousness awakening. The Void Hunter fleet hung in space, their weapons temporarily silent as they witnessed something they had fought for millennia to prevent. But this wasn't the reality-destroying ascendance they feared. This was something else entirely. "They're preparing to fire their reality-warping cannons," Commander Reeves reported, watching as the Hunter fleet shifted formation. "They're going to try to destroy Earth before the transformation completes." Maya smiled, understanding flowing through her quantum-enhanced consciousness. "Let them try. We're not what they think we are. We're what the Guardians knew we could become." The Hunters' attack came with devastating force. Reality-warping beams of pure entropy lashed out, aimed at Earth's core. But as the weapons struck the quantum defense grid, something unprecedented happened. Humanity's merged consciousness didn't just deflect the attack. It absorbed it, understood it, and reshaped it. The very weapons meant to destroy them became catalysts for their transformation. This is what the Guardians planned. Maya realized, the knowledge flowing through the quantum network. They didn't just hide their technology here. They seeded Earth itself, guided human evolution towards this moment. The quantum network expanded exponentially, connecting not just minds, but the very fabric of space-time around Earth. Humanity wasn't descending beyond physical reality as the hunters feared. They were becoming its guardians, able to exist in both physical and quantum states simultaneously. Through the network, Maya felt the presence of the lost pilots who had quantum ejected earlier in the battle. They hadn't died or ascended. They had transformed, becoming the first of a new kind of existence. Now, all of humanity was following their path. The hunter fleet launched a final desperate assault. But their weapons found no purchase against beings who could shift through quantum states at will. Humanity had become something they couldn't fight, not because they were more powerful, but because they understood reality in ways the hunters never could. "We offer you peace," Maya broadcast across quantum channels, her consciousness touching the minds of the hunter fleet. Not surrender, not submission, but understanding. This is what the Guardians wanted, not the destruction of reality, but its protection through understanding. Through the quantum network, she shared what humanity had learned. The Guardians hadn't transcended reality. They had become its custodians, understanding that consciousness itself was the key to maintaining the universe's quantum stability. They had scattered their catches across the galaxy, seeking species with the right kind of consciousness to join them. The hunter fleet's attack faltered as the truth resonated through their quantum sensors. Some ships began to retreat, their ancient certainties shaken. Others maintained their attack, but found their weapons useless against humanity's transformed state. In the Quantum Defense Command Center, Commander Reeves watched in awe as the final phase of the Guardian Protocol manifested. Earth itself began to glow with quantum energy, visible from space as a beacon of new possibility. "We're receiving signals," Lieutenant Cooper announced, her consciousness now seamlessly integrated with both her physical form and the quantum network. "From other cages across the galaxy. We're not alone. Other species are awakening, their own quantum consciousness responding to our transformation." Maya nodded, understanding flowing through her expanded consciousness. The Guardians hadn't chosen humanity to be the only guardians. They had chosen them to be the first of a new wave, catalysts for a transformation that would spread across the galaxy. "Send the signal," she instructed, her mind touching the ancient protocols within the cache. "Let them know it's time." Across the galaxy, other caches began to activate, seeking out species with the same quantum potential that had made humanity suitable guardians. The age of fear was ending. The age of understanding was beginning. The Void Hunter fleet began to disperse, their mission of millions of years unraveling in the face of what humanity had become. They had fought so long to prevent what they saw as the destruction of reality. They had never understood its true nature. "What now?" Commander Reeves asked, watching as the last hunter ships retreated into hyperspace. Maya's consciousness expanded through the quantum network, touching the minds of billions of awakening humans, feeling the resonance of other caches activating across the stars. "Now we do what the Guardians intended. We protect. We guide. We understand." Earth had become more than just a planet. It was now a beacon, a symbol of what was possible when fear was replaced with understanding. Humanity had not just survived the hunters' assault. They had transcended it, becoming something that would help shape the future of the galaxy. The ancient cache, its purpose finally fulfilled, began to integrate fully with Earth's quantum field. It wasn't just a repository of technology anymore. It was part of humanity's new existence, a bridge between physical reality and quantum potential. As the sun rose over Earth, its light reflected off the quantum field that now surrounded the planet. Humanity had faced its test, and in doing so had discovered its true purpose. They were no longer just inheritors of the Guardians' legacy. They had become guardians themselves. The silent protocol was complete. The dawn of a new age had begun.